one.
All right.
Okay. Let's do our intro music real quick, and then we're gonna start.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna make a clips in the future, but for now we have music.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Welcome in, don't miss a beat. We're serving insights fresh and sweet. Numbers sizzle, charts go pow. We decode the what, the why, the how. Brian's data clubhouse, come and play. Your daily dose, the smart, cool way. With a snap, a graph, and a cha-cha-cha. It's da-da-da-da. Do-wop, flourish, bow.
All right, welcome everyone. This is Brian, and welcome to another episode one of the Power of Real Analytics projects from scratch. I am Brian, and today I'm joined by Gaurav, and today we will continue our walkthrough in this project to build a end-to-end data analytics project from raw data to a polished dashboard using Power BI. So, welcome everyone. Today we will get into setting the foundation and the data understanding and the planning part of our entire project. In preparation for today's um, pro- episode, if you guys are following along at home, I have prepared a GitHub site that you could use to understand more about this project, and also, most importantly, get the data for this project, and even more importantly, get some hints um, on how to proceed with some of these projects requirement. Okay, so on screen right now is the link to our GitHub page, Power Up One Analytics Project. All right, Gaurav, how are you today?
I'm doing good. It's beautiful outside. It's Friday evening. It's. I'm happy.
You got it. Yeah, it's Friday evening, and this is what we're doing. We are enjoying our time. We're doing some data and some analytics. What better way to enjoy
Yes, sir.
Friday evening? So I'm blessed to be joined by you today, Gaurav. So let's dive right in. Okay. So I'm gonna show the my screen and go over the GitHub a little bit, and perhaps get an idea of how um, this this project will play out, especially go through the data. So give me 1 second while I will share my screen. Doo-doo-doo. Okay, right. Let me know if you could see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I can. Yeah,
All right. I
works.
guess it's a little bit too small. I can zoom in a little bit. Okay. So um, there's a README here. That is the official dataset and material repo for this YouTube mentorship series. And in this series, like we have described, we're going to go through cleaning real world dirty data and solve some business challenges using Power BI. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 data sets. However, there are some already pre-cleaned data sets. However, for this project, when we're going to work together, Gaurav, we are going to use the dirty version of some of them.
Yes, sir.
So let me highlight some of the one we will need. So we will need the calendar for sure. We will need the products. And the product we're going to use is the product dirty. Okay. And then the store dirty, sales dirty, tax rate, product bundle, campaigns, region hierarchy. We will skip these three because they are already pre-clean, but we
Hmm.
use the dirty version of them. And then the calendar, just in case we need to deal with some dates issue in Power BI, which we will see. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so last episode, in episode zero, we will introduce ourselves. We talk about some of these general ideas about our projects. Um, let's just dive right in. Do you have any questions for the data, for the data sets?
I do not for now.
Okay, so there's an overview here. Um, so we have the calendar data set, which is the full calendar table with dates, month, quarter, year, and weekends, holiday flags. Okay, this because sometimes Power BI have issue dealing with dates, so the calendar is there to help us.
Yes, sir.
We will need to play with the modeling to make sure it works. There's the product enhanced data sets. The product enhanced data set is the clean version of um, the products dirty data sets. We were going to use the dirty though. But in general, there's a products data set. It include 50 SKUs, meaning 50 different products that this store sells. Each of them has a unique ID, has a unique product name, what category is in, its cost, and its retail price. We also
Yes,
have
sir.
our data set that include 20 stores. And this data set also include region, manager name, and the three employees in that store. We have a sales. That is the biggest data sets. It's transactional. I believe it has around 10,000 rows of transaction. So, enough data for us to analyze and even build prediction if we want. The next part we have is region hierarchy, meaning to uh, describe how these stores are, business are normally divided up. They're not going to work as one, right? So they're going to uh, have a region for south, region for north, for example. And typically there are sub-region also. So it's a good idea to keep this information in a separate table.
Yes, sir.
And then the next information that we have here is called campaign. So the idea is this business also have marketing campaign that we will have the ability and the opportunity to track and analyze. But let's see how far we will get with that. But this campaign, this data will set us tell us like what is the budget for that campaign, and the start and end dates, and also what are the bundles that we are selling. And it's typically our business our job as business analysts, data scientists, to make business recommendation to see if we should even invest in more campaign, or at least have the ability to track if the campaign was successful or not. Right. Next, we have the data set that is the product bundle. Product bundle is a way to group the products together to sell them. You know how like you go to Walmart, they typically sell things in combo. This
Yes,
is
sir.
is called product bundling. And then lastly, we have a table that describe tax rates. A tax rate is very important because very basic uh, microeconomics idea of like if you sell products that you should know the cost of it, and typically you want to sell the price that's as high as possible.
Yes, sir.
But it be amazing if you could still profit after tax and after the original costs.
Yes, sir.
In this business project, we are not going to break down different type of costs. We're just going to call it costs.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that could be inclusive of in the real world things like transportation, cost to sell, cost to just display, electricity costs. Let's just assume it's all under cost. Okay. So
Yes,
there
sir.
are some assumptions, and we will go a bit deeper in all of them. All right. So um, this data set is fully uh, simulated, and I created it from scratch. with the help of some AI to randomize some of the data and anonymize it. But in general, it's really just Python that randomized Python data frames with the built-in business ideas behind it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so why don't we get started, Gaurav? Any questions before we dive in?
Yes, sir. The two most important questions that popped up to my mind were, now that we have seen the data, what is the problem statement that we are dealing with? And
Wow,
the second question that would come to mind is, who are the stakeholders for this particular problem statement?
that's a wonderful question. Thank you, Gaurav. And that led us right next to the part that we talk about a problem statement. So it is a retail business, and they need a sales dashboard to monitor trends and identify products or store performance across regions and marketing campaigns. Okay. However, the raw data is kind of messy. We will assume that this data live in some sort of an ERP system. In this first project, we probably would not have to deal with database or ERP system yet. These data will now just live as CSV for now. Later on, when we at the end in the episode 5 or 6, we can enhance this project a bit more and build more of a complete data pipeline. That's pull data from ERP, but let's save that for next time.
Yes, sir.
For this project, let's just assume the data are just CSV file. We will make sure the way it get loaded into Power BI is seamless and it will be clean the second you start model. I'm sorry, the second the modeling part is done. So you can start doing the analysis, building the actual dashboard will be run on clean data. And that
Yes, sir.
process from getting dirty CSV to the clean dashboard should be seamless. Okay. Some other issue with the data is that it's consistent. There could be some inconsistent formats. There might be some missing fields or unclear naming conventions. So let's see what's in store for us to tackle. The
Yes,
next
sir.
question you had was the stakeholders. So the stakeholders here are the business leaders, meaning the CEO, the COO, the person who run all the operation, the sales executive, so they can know uh, how sales is going in each store and how to compensate their manager, for example. Other stakeholder could be the marketing executive. They need to decide from the data and our analysis um, if the campaigns is even effective or and should we continue the campaign. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So there's some background noise, so I think this might be coming from your end. So when you're not talking, I'm gonna put you on mute slightly.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So let me see. All right. So did that answer your questions, girl?
Yes, sir. It did. The, that answered my question. Now we have a clear understanding of like who I want, who we want the project for, like what are we doing this for, and in the end, who are we presenting this to? So yeah.
Perfect. That's wonderful. All right. So um, why don't we get into downloading the data and then get going with this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So let me guide you. If you could start sharing your screen, I can guide you on how to download this data and getting it set up. It'd be great if you have Git already in your computer, but it's not okay if you can also just download the data raw and then
I
unzip.
have GitHub as well, but I will start sharing my screen and we can decide the best way.
Perfect.
Let's see.
Okay, so we have your screen being shared right now. Yeah, perfect.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so for any viewer who's it's your first time interacting with Git, think of Git as a way to manage information. Uh, Git is used very widely in software engineering and these days data science and data analytics as well. Day to day, our team would use Git to maintain uh, the code base. By this, I mean really is a versioning tool. So if you have a change in the code, there's a way for us to track those changes, and it's also a way for other people to build upon your code without affecting your original code. Okay, so I hope that's give you an overview of what Git is. So, but for our purpose for this project, we're gonna use Git as just like a file sharing platform. So you're gonna get the data set from here. So right now, if you look to the left of your screen under the file section, there is power up all final datasets.zip. We're gonna download the zip website. I mean, sorry, zip datasets. And yeah, download raw files, all you need. Okay, so that will give you a raw file.
Mm,
Okay, so did you unzip this?
I think it. Let's check. I just downloaded it, so I can unzip it.
Yeah, let's unzip it.
Extract all. All right,
Oh,
now they're unzipped now.
okay. So to make our project challenging, right now let's delete store,
Mhm.
sales, and product enhance. So these are the
Okay.
clean version. So I mean, eventually we will open our clean version to compare to this. But
Mhm.
for now, let's just move it or delete it into save it into a different folder. But we can always grab it again from the zip, right? So no big deal.
Yeah.
All right. So now we have the data sets that we can actually start. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Ralph, how you feel? You ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm excited.
All right. Let's get some sound going. That's so lame. All right. Let's get going. All right. So this is how we want to work. I'm gonna guide you while we on call together.
Mhm.
And this is exactly how I would typically guide a new intern in my team. We're
Mhm.
just gonna sit on Teams or Zoom, one of these tools, share screen, and I will literally walk them step by step. And
Oh,
as we know,
interesting.
let's launch Power BI. Let's get going.
All right, let's do that.
Okay. In the meantime, I will update our instruction. Okay, I already shared a GitHub link. I'm gonna share what we're gonna do next. Maybe I don't have enough space. Okay, I will go back to showing just the link in that case. Okay, no problem. All right. So, all right, let's get started. So let's start with a blank report. Okay, so the very first thing in using any data analytics platform or any data analytics projects, really, um, the first thing is we need to get the data loaded in.
Yes, sir.
Whether if it's a Python script or a simple Excel file, or in this case, a Power BI, or in other cases, a data warehouse kind of projects, we got to get the data in. Okay, so today we don't have a database, which would be option like SQL, MongoSQL, so MongoDB. So, but today we're not doing that. Today we're just gonna load from a simple CSV file. Okay, so why don't we start with that? Yes, import data from Excel. Now, in the folder that you unzip, you should be able to see. Okay, if you pick Excel, then they will not let you see CSV.
Oh, let's see.
No,
Oh,
no problem. These are CSV file, all right?
yes, sir.
Okay, so let's start with loading in some. Uh, I don't think it will let you, but we can try. Let's just double click. Is this the zip folder or is this the main folder?
This is the unzipped one.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, let's start loading in one by one.
Yeah.
Okay, so once we do this, the next screen we're gonna see will be the data query, the Power Query. That's what they call it. So Power Query has been around for a while. First, it started in Excel, and then it turned out to be a really, really great ETL kind of tool. So they adopted in Power BI. They might call it something else. They can call it data flow. Now, if you are familiar with data Microsoft Fabric, they might call it data flow Gen 2, for example. Okay. Yeah. So at this step, I would it already automatically recognize that it is a comma delimiter file. So that's great. I think it looks good. Let's just load it in. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why it's taking.
Let's give it a moment. And on the left hand side, I would recommend us go to table view. Let's see if we have any data loaded in yet. It's okay if not. Oh, okay. It's running. It's running. Okay, let it load.
So, I have a question.
Yeah.
So once a bunch of Excel sheets, thousands of tables are given to you, as a junior data analyst, where would where should I start looking? Or because we cannot go through each and every table, what is the right way to ask for the right resources from your manager, your mentor, or how do you get the right? How do you know that you have the right information, or how
Yeah,
do you know where to get the right information?
that's a great question. Thank you, Gaurav. So let me answer this in two parts. So first part is how is typically work in the real world. So in the real world, once you are assigned a project like this, it's assumed that you are pretty familiar with the business context, the business domain. And this business domain, business context is built by two ways. It's built by your pre-understanding of the business or a business model or how a business typically work. And this can be built by your past experience or from books, from readings, from watching YouTube. Okay. The second way to build this business acumen, business understanding, or domain is by talking to the business stakeholder, which as business analyst or data scientist at any level, junior or senior, you eventually will have to talk to someone. So Uh, fun fact for anyone that's new to data analytics world, if you think going into data analytics is a good way to run away from not having to talk to people, and if you don't feel like talking to people, it's a sign that data analytics, if you go into it, it will require you to build that skills too. So you will not be able to run away from talking to people.
Yeah.
So that's key. Learning from these business leaders, business stakeholder. They might not know the data, and a lot of time your job is to help them configure even the simple stuff in Excel. But they have a vast amount of knowledge of what the data is about. Which, as a junior data analyst or even a senior one who just entered a company, maybe first few weeks, it'll be really hard to catch up unless you talk to them. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So in short, that is the real world answer is always talk to business leaders, business stakeholder, learn from it. The more you talk and the more experiences you build, you have that preconception of how business work. All right. But as here's the second part to my answer. As a fresher, a new grad, of course, if you didn't have a lot of internship, you didn't get a chance to talk to these business leaders, business stakeholder. How can you build this experience? The alternative to this is to learn the business basic ideas. For example, you need to be familiar with accounting, should be familiar with marketing, should be familiar with finance. Okay. So this is in the context of you if you are working as a data analyst, business analyst for operation, for business. Then these three pillar,
Yeah.
accounting, finance, uh, should be enough to give you an idea. Okay, long-winded answer. I hope that helped.
That did. Yeah, I spoke that because at my first internship, when I got there, it was me asking a lot of questions, and people generally getting into the field are confused on where to start, what are the right questions to ask.
Right.
And to be honest, I don't think there's a right way to ask questions. Is the best way to learn is just asking all the questions that you have.
Right. Oh, okay. You touched on a great thing, and we will dive into this why we will wait for this data to load. So let's continue that discussion, and I will add a great point to that. Let's continue this modeling journey by getting the data loaded in. Here's a so now I see the Canada's in. Now let's continue with the rest.
Yes, sir.
Right.
That's
And
fine.
the way to do it, let's go to modeling. Um, and then you can see n- no. Okay. Oh, so on the data side, on the right hand side, here's the. Let me show you a quick way Okay, if you right click anywhere on data, okay. Oh, I mean the calendar button. Calendar.
Oh,
Yeah.
mhm.
Okay. So you should be able to edit query. Okay. So now we're officially in the Power Query editor. Okay. So as we can see on the left, we have calendar already loaded in. Okay. Now let's load in other sources. Later on, I can show you tricks to load all of them at once. But for now, let's just do it the traditional way. So you see there is a button that says New Sources.
Mhm.
Yeah, let's click on that. Um, I typically pick the CSV because we are going to load CSV,
Uh,
but this will work too. Yeah, this will work too. Power BI, luckily, is smart enough to know.
yeah. You said just do one by one, not do not select all at the same time.
Yeah, let's do one by one for now. Okay, so yeah, please continue to do this. Why I answer your other question. So you said, yeah, there's no better way to learn than asking question. That's true. However, if you want a real world tip, there is a structure of how to ask. Right. So I
Uh,
typically ask with the intention of outcome. Always ask with the intention, what is the outcome they want to see? Right. So as a business analyst, the analyst really, in the end, is we need to drive business outcome. So always
yes,
think
sir.
and ask from that perspective. Why are they paying you to wrangle data and build dashboard? It's not because they want to build a full dashboard or clear data set. No, that's just vehicle to arrive at business outcome. And business outcome come from data backed decision making. So
Yes, sir.
think of a stakeholder here that we have here. We have a CEO, we have a COO, we have a sales executive, manager, store manager, marketing executive. Each of these stakeholders have a different business goal in mind.
Yes, sir.
And if you want to ask me, if you would ask me, what's the best question to ask them is, what is the business outcome that they want to drive? That's a good starting place. Okay. For example, if the marketing manager, we ask them what is their business goal, then they're gonna say, of course, run a successful campaign and affect sales and profit positively, right?
Yes, sir.
Um, and that alone already answer a lot of questions. The next question after that could be, okay, so where are we gonna get the data for that? What are the metrics to define success? Uh, which is just another way to ask, what's the KPI?
Yeah.
And wow, great job, Gaurav. You are doing great. Let's get the data in.
All
Okay,
right. We have
at all the
actually
tables.
decent. Yes, sir.
That's wonderful. Okay, so why don't we go to one by one
Mhm.
in each of the table? So in the business, in the statement in GitHub, we already stated which are the dirty data set that need to be clean. But in the real world, we don't really know this. So, uh,
Yes, sir.
but give me a hint, right, or what your assessment is. Look at the calendar. Do you think that is pretty clean data set? Just eyeballing. Does it pass uh, your initial feeling assessment tests?
Yes, just by looking at the 30 rows, it looks pretty clean. We have all first 30 rows is pretty clean. We have it structured. We have the day by day information.
Mm.
It's all in the same year. It's the first month. Um, we have days of this month. We have weekdays, and then we have the quarter. So for in the first 30 rows, it looks pretty clean.
Nice. All
We'll have to
right.
dive.
Yeah, I agree. But you're right. Your instinct is right. This data set is clean. Uh, but let's say in the real world, uh, I would probably do some EDA on top of this data
Mhm.
set to just confirm that it's 100% clean.
Yes, sir.
Typically, in the real world, this table calendar is reused many places. So typically, you probably don't have um, to review it, but always good to
Mhm.
double check. Um, okay, let's move on to the next data set. So this one is the campaign updated. Yes. So this talk about the marketing campaigns, their budgets, and what are the target category and the cost of each of the campaign.
Yes, sir. And
Okay.
we have two null values in here, which already indicates that we need to do some. We need to figure something out for those null values, but that's for later.
Yeah, now that's a good point. All right. So we wait, write that note down right somewhere in your notebook. So we found null in campaign updated. So as business analyst, data analyst, or anyone really in the working world, it's good to have a notebook on your desk. If not, at least just an iPad or a notepad on your laptop itself. Just write down some quick notes. Okay. And also, what I would typically do is go when I read through the first load is to see if there's any error that's raised. Typically in
Mhm.
Power BI, it will raise the error by showing a warning sign on the query side of the screen. Luckily today, it doesn't look like there are error yet. Important thing to also keep in mind are some of the key field in each of the tables.
Yes, sir.
So we should, whenever we look at a table, especially in a somewhat relational database, which we will find out
Mhm.
these tables are related in some way, we need to find the common piece between the tables. So as a data analyst, you should when you look through the set of data set that are supposed to be related, they need to be a relating key. All right. Think
Yes,
of
sir.
like a backbone that will link all of them, or at least some of them together. And each of these tables will have key information fields
Yes, sir.
that we should keep in mind. All right. So let's move on to the next data set. Okay. So let's look for this. We have from 1 to 10 bundle. So these are the type of bundle.
Mhm.
Okay. And these bundle, they're 10 row, but and they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. Yeah. So each of these bundle will include a certain product ID. Okay. So we'll keep that name, bundle ID, product ID. So let's so far in the first two, in the last three table, are there any fields that are linking to each other yet?
So um, we saw this one has bundle ID and product ID. And the campaigns updated, there was a campaign ID, but there was no. there's a target bundle ID.
Mm.
So that way, bundle ID is common in both of them.
Okay, great observation. Let's keep that in mind. So if I were you, I would write that note, just a piece of note down. So this table and that table has something in common, right? The campaign updated and the product bundle has a bundle ID of some sort that might be related to each other. Good insight. Okay, now let's move on to the next query. Next, we see product 30, and we know for sure this one is 30.
Yeah.
um, so that's a given. This one is dirty, and
Yeah.
we gotta clean it. But let's see. We're gonna go back to our question earlier. Is there a relating field, a key that we could link to the previous three
We have
tables?
product ID.
Ah, great, 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 great observation. Why don't we keep that in mind? Okay.
Mhm.
Is beside product ID, is there anything else?
Let's see. Product name, category. I think there was category in campaign name. Oh, we have target category
Yeah,
that is common in product dirty and campaigns updated.
that's a great
And
point.
then
Yeah, that's a great, great point.
product ID. All right, we got that as well. Product bundles. All right.
Okay, so now that we are on table four, let me give you a second trick, second type of questions that any analyst should always ask themselves when they look through the data set for the first time. So first, we were gonna find the backbone kind of fields that link the tables together, and you have been doing a great job finding that. Very insightful, great, great work. Next type of data that I would typically pay attention to are the one that called measures, meaning the one that have numbers. Um,
Yes, sir.
Typically in a data set, we have something called dimensions, which are fields that give information about that role.
Mhm.
But it's really the numbers that often speak really loudly. In the KPI, if anything, the KPI, the metrics, are typically calculated or are these measures. So while you look through the data sets, also good to pay attention to what the measures are.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
So
and a general rule is if the table has a measure, it is one of the important tables, one of the more
okay.
important. Okay, all right.
See.
Any questions so far, Gaurav?
Uh, no, I think for now, just the exploring of data is
Right.
an important step. And one of the most important things, I started writing notes right now. Like I started writing notes from the start. At my internships, that was my most important and the best way for me to be successful is I will walk around with my notebook everywhere. I will
Oh,
take notes from each and every meeting, each and every little to big thing. I will keep a note of it. So if I need to reference back to something, if I because you're not just dealing with one table, you're not just dealing with one row.
yeah,
Because at my internship, at my first internships, we had tables with billions and trillions of rows,
yeah,
and obviously, I cannot remember each and every one of them or a group of them. So I got to take down important. Let's assume I'm looking for faulty part numbers, so I need to make sure I take that part number down. I take down what are the metrics that make sure that it is faulty. Where do I find that? So, and everything, I'll keep a note of it. That was one important tip that I try to give to myself and people who ask me for advice
Yeah,
for an internship is always take the notebook around with you.
that's a wonderful tip. Yes, that's wonderful. Thank you, Gaurav, for sharing that. Um, Note taking, very important. Okay. And looking through this data set, products 30, do you think there are something that stand out right away to you that might need some cleaning?
So we can we can add another column which says profit because we have price and cost. So because since you're trying to understand what the profits are, then price and cost are two important columns to look at.
Yeah, that's a good assumption. Yeah, typically costs, and then there's one more factor that affects profit. Do you know what it is?
Cost and then taxes at different places will
Yeah,
also affect. And
tax.
yeah, and we have the tax table for that.
Perfect. Yeah, that's really good insight, good instinct. Thank you, Gaurav. And there are some other issue with some column here, like category, and what we will. I'll let you do that on your own as a homework. Okay. Well, yes, for the viewers, there will be homework. Okay. So let's move on to the next table. We have about 15 minutes left.
Yeah, let's see. Region hierarchy. We have region IDs, which we might be able to reach back to because I last time I saw there were regions. There might be regions in different columns. So I'll keep region ID in mind. That region ID might appear in some other tables.
Yeah. Great point.
We have the division and region that might division, region, and city, state.
Yeah.
So this column's pretty short and clean. Precise. I don't think there's anything needed to be done in that.
Yeah.
Um,
Great point.
and then in this, we have the store ID, product ID, seeing that this is inconsistent date format, number of units sold. We have um, empty columns with empty values, which would need to be cleaned as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think this is this is what I get from the overview of this is inconsistent date formats in the date column.
Mm.
We have null values or empty values in the return region or campaign ID.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Let's see, stores 30. We have another empty value or null value over here. We have we'll have to ask for further clarification for the column names because what is worker one, worker two, worker three? Looking from the top, I'm assuming it's just three different types of workers.
Ah.
Um,
Yes. So let me
and
provide a clarification. So each store has three worker and one manager. So these worker are similar in rank. Yeah, they're not different
I
type
see.
of worker. Yeah. We don't go
Okay.
down to the level of like what each of them do, but just in
Mhm.
general, there are three workers that help the manager sell or run the store.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are there any other issue that stood out to you right away for this store dirty?
Was the manager name in the first row was empty.
Right, that's a good one. And then
Then we also have region with incorrect spacing.
Yeah.
So not might not be the biggest issue, but while making dashboards, if it might be classified as a um, different category than the other one. So this north and this north will be categorized as different. We will
Mm,
need to fix that for dashboarding purposes.
you got it. Right.
Then we have tax rates. This is different tax rates in the different regions and looks pretty clean.
Perfect. 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 Okay. All right. So, what we have done is now we have gone through the data. We
Mhm.
kind of understand the structure of these data sets. We have yet to collect or connect them yet. That will
Yes, sir.
be what we will do next episode. Um, but now we have the scope and the understanding of the data sets, some at some certain level, right? And the requirement for you and for any viewers who following us is to identify the key business questions that can be answered from this data set. As analysts, sometimes you don't wait until you get the questions. You should form these type of questions on your own, see what is possible to analyze here. I will provide a specific list of things to answer when we get to a later stage. But at this stage, I want you to get let your imagination create business questions, how to get extract value from this data sets. Okay. Um, another requirements is now that we have loaded, think about how to clean this data sets. We will dive deep into how to clean uh, uh, in the in detail in the next episode. Okay, here's the homework: explore the data sets and perform the same exercise that we have done. Write down 2 or 3 insights or trend that you observe. Feel free to use additional tools like Excel, Python to run uh, extra analysis on this data set to get you a feel of it, and then prepare any additional cleaning steps you think are necessary for each of them. So today we have identified first table is clean. All the one that say dirty are actually dirty, needs to be clean. The rest
Yep.
might or might not need to. Okay, but they're dirty for sure. Okay, so we have about 7 minutes left. Is there do you have any questions, Gaurav? How do you feel so far?
Oh, it's it feels one thing we do need to figure out is which tables need to be cleaned. That was the first step that needed to be done. Note down on the first glance if you're seeing something. So I've noted down where all I've seen, what tables I've seen inconsistencies in, and I will work on fixing those inconsistencies.
Yeah.
Um, Other than that, I don't have any questions for now.
Wonderful. Okay. For additional notes on the homework, let me share with you the uh, Google Doc that I have prepared,
Mhm,
so you could follow along of some of these requirement that I just said.
mhm.
I will paste it into the same chat, not the chat, sorry, but the link here. You guys might see it in on screen. Okay, and I will share it to you now. Also, I have not included the Google Doc in Power Query yet. I'm sorry, in
Uh,
GitHub yet,
you,
but I did send it to you. So feel free to open it. It would write down the business problem and requirements and homework. So if you could click on it, I can show you. I sent it to you in on LinkedIn. Yeah.
Okay. Mm, let me, um, was it a different email that was given as?
If you could hit request access, I will grant access right now.
All right. Let me just do that then.
Okay, I think I have approved, so you should be able to see it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm able to see it now.
Nice. Okay, so if you scroll down a little bit to episode 1, you
Mhm.
see requirement and homework. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes. And another note, when you do the cleaning, highly recommend that you do it in Power Query.
Hmm.
Just play with it, try it out. But Power Query is a very powerful and easy to use data ETL tool. Okay.
Sounds good. Oh,
So you just hit close and load. That's great. So now on the
yep.
right hand side, you see all of the table. At this stage,
Hmm.
I would recommend saving. Let's go through that after it is loaded. Let's save our file so we can pick up from next time.
Yes, sir. Um,
And to actually help the viewers, at each of these steps, can at the end of each of these main episode 1 to 5, can you save off a copy of what where we ended at the end of that day?
yes, sir.
And you
We can
can
do that.
continue to work on a copy of it.
All right. So we'll do save as.
This way, our viewer, if they want to skip certain step, they don't have to repeat.
I'll just do this as day one,
Yeah,
or no, episode one.
yeah. Let's do episode
Episode
1.
one. Episode one.
Checkpoint.
Ch- Checkpoint.
Perfect. Yeah.
Power. All right.
All right.
Let's.
So we have about 30 seconds left. So I want to thank Gaurav today. You've done an amazing jobs. You've been so patient, and I hope this is a good start to our journey to explore data analytics. And at the
Yes,
end
sir.
of this, I hope you and the viewers of our series will get a little bit of the power up. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Gaurav.
Thank you for having me here. It was fun. Uh,
That's wonderful. All right. See you guys next episode.